You have made live, no? Okay. So, welcome back, friends. As we had a bit of technical glitch, and we all can understand that being online have its own merits and its own demerits as well. So, here I am sharing with me uh, the credentials of Mr. Mohnish Pradeep Dispute. He is currently working as the scientific and medical writer at Springer Nature. He has completed his bachelor's degree in pharmacy from Shivaji University, Kolhapur in the year 2011 and master's in pharmacy from KBC NMU, Jalgaon, that is from in 2013. He is a GPAT qualifier and currently working in Pharmacovigilance department as scientific and medical writer in Springer Nature. He also worked with Lupin Pharma in Pharmacovigilance department as drug safety executive in the year 2018 and worked with Quintiles Pharmacovigilance department as associate operation specialist in the year 2017. He also served his services at Tata Consultancy Services in the Department of Pharmacovigilance in the year 2015. And US FDA audit faced, he has also faced one of the US FDA audit in 2014. And he's also having some interpersonal and other skills. So I would like to invite this dynamic young speaker, from very first speaker of our session, Mr. Monish Dispute. Mr. Monish,
Yeah, sir. Thank you so much for your warm words and warm welcome. So, first of all, I would like to thanks to all of our delegates who are taking their times on weekends. I know that weekends are very busy for all of us, but though they are taking their time and joining this session, and let's get started. So, my topic of discussion is pharmacovigilance, a new career avenue for healthcare candidates. So, what is pharmacovigilance? Pharmacovigilance is phase 4 study, basically, as we are aware of that, because before drug is coming into the market, it has to pass all the clinical trial phases like preclinical testing, then phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and lastly, the phase 4 study comes up where all activities related to safety or the efficacy of particular drugs has been tested, and then only it will be decided where that drug will work properly for particular age group in market. So as per the US FDA, pharmacovigilance is the branch of pharmacological science which is mainly related to collection, detection, assessment, monitoring, and prevention of the adverse drug reactions, or we can say side effects of therapeutic drugs, devices, or the biologicals. So there are certain laws and regulations by which pharmacovigilance work. So there are certain regulatory bodies such as US FDA, DCGI like Drug Controller General of India, then EMEA, which led to adoption of systemic pharmacovigilance framework worldwide. So basically in PV, what we are doing is we are just testing the side effect of particular drug, because what happen when the drugs come into the market, so per se till phase 3 study, so most of the adverse drug reactions are hidden. So once it is come into the practical knowledge, then only we'll come to know that this drug is having particular side effect, and that has to be reported to regulatory bodies like USFDA or DCGI. And there are certain timelines by which pharmacovigilance work. For example, for all serious cases, there is day 15 timeline. And for non-serious cases, day 30 is the timeline. And we have to report single case report as well as bunch of the report. We called it as ICSR, that is individual case safety report. And if bunch of report are there, then we call it as aggregate safety reporting. So very vast, pharmacovigilance is very vast, and it is very good career option those who are aspirant for that. So why pharmacovigilance activity is required? what is the aim and the objective. So as we are aware of that, in 1960s, one of the disaster happened, that is thalidomide disaster, which happened in 1960s. Because of that, there were severe abnormalities faced by fetus. What happened that time, the rules and the regulations was not stringent. So pregnant woman has consumed this drug, and over thousands of babies were affected because of exposure during pregnancy of this drug. So we call it as drug exposure during pregnancy. And because of that, so many fetuses were having abnormalities, like we called it as phocomelia. So babies were facing sealed limbs. They were not able to talk. They were not able to correlate the things. There were certain mental disorders those babies were facing since their childhood. So that was one of the disaster. So taking into consideration of these all these adverse effect of the drug, so there were certain guidelines were established from 1960s onward to report any adverse reactions of marketed drug for safety reason. So to collect the information on adverse drug reaction or adverse events, certain centers were established with the following objectives, such as early detection of unknown safety problem. As I already mentioned that because of thalidomide, sealed limbs was one of the side effect of that drug, phocomelia, which was undetected till date. Once it happened, then only people come to know about that side effect. So that has to be reported to regulatory authorities so that in future that drug can be modified or that drug may be withdrawn from the market because of such hazardous activities. Second is detection of increase in the frequency. For example, we are taking paracetamol for fever. So some people may experience rash because of paracetamol. And if people are taking long-term paracetamol administration, then they may have severe impact on their liver. So liver injury or the liver failure is one of the most adverse effect of paracetamol. So that detection of increase in the frequency of drug has to be reported. So identifying the risk factor. Apart from drug, there are certain pre-existing conditions like diabetes or the hypertensions. These are also affecting particular person while taking the drug. So that factor, that risk factor also taken into the consideration before giving that drug to the patient. So quantifying risk is important in such aspects. Then preventing the patient from being affected unnecessarily. So what is the main motto of pharmacovigilance? Safety. We have to take care of the patient while they are taking the drug. So we have to balance the risk and the benefit ratio of particular drug. So risk must be more compared to the benefits. Then that drug is of no use. So that drug should be safe and efficacious for particular patient while he is taking that drug. So that is the why pharmacovigilance come into the picture. So what is the present scenario in market world? So with the globalization of the pharmaceutical industry, the need to maintain the universal standard and demand for qualified as well as trained professional to provide their inputs on Indian, European or American markets and their safety requirements in pharmacovigilance has propelled the need for knowledge packed training in this field. So we can say the worth of pharmacovigilance market worldwide that was $160 million in 2008, and it is reached estimatedly above that, that is more than millions in 2015. And at present, India is the fourth largest producer of pharmaceutical in the world. And therefore, it is surfeit of drug brands with more than 6,000. Now that figure has changed. It is more than 10,000 licensed drug manufacturer and over more than 1 lakh branded formulations. So that is the market worth of pharmacovigilance. So it is very big market for pharmaceutical company. So now also we are facing the COVID challenge. For that, pharmacovigilance is playing an important role apart from clinical trial, because that drugs has been tested on animals, then that is coming to the human, and then obviously post marketing surveillance is going on. So as a industrial person, we are getting so n number of cases of off-label use for COVID-19 disease. So what is off-label use? Off-label use is nothing but which is not yet approved, because as we are aware of that remdesivir is only approved drug by US FDA currently for treatment of COVID-19, and apart from that there is no other antiviral drug is approved. So if the patient is coming to the hospital for treatment of COVID-19, then obviously they are giving on off-label basis only. So that is a vast market is there, and still people are struggling to overcome this crisis. And I hope that it will be overcome soon. So why India offer growth in pharmacovigilance? We are having IT infrastructure. There are large number of pharma companies. Large number of healthcare professionals are coming out year and year. And in India, there is low operational costs for the companies to operate compared to the US and the European territories. So India is one of the good market to grow in pharmacovigilance sector. So there are large number of diseases are coming every year, like swine flu couple of years back was came. Now COVID-19 is there. So because of that, the need of pharmacovigilance is increasing. And qualified manpower, obviously, people should be health HCPs or other SCPs to work in this sector. So what are the eligibility criteria to start career in the field of pharmacovigilance? So if you are from any of the below qualification background, then you can choose pharmacovigilance as a career. For example, B Pharm, M Pharm, or diploma in pharmacy. I don't think so. They are having very easy grasping in this field. They must have certain marketing or some other production experience. Then only they may enter into this field. But for M-Pharm, B-Pharm freshers, they are always welcome. So for BSc, MSc people, clinical data management, that is CDM, is one of the emerging field where they can try their luck to build their career. Then MDS, BDS, MBBS, obviously drug safety physicians are required in this field to give their clinical opinion on the drug safety. So those people are also working with us. We call them as drug safety physician. Then nursing people, physiotherapists, and obviously PhD people are also welcome in this field. So how you can start your career in pharmacovigilance? Pharmacovigilance offer bright career perspective compared to conventional career options. So for all healthcare professionals in terms of career growth and the salary. So the market of pharmacovigilance is growing day by day, and starting salary for people who are joining as a fresher is up to 3 lakhs per annum. So I think that is a good salary for fresher to start their career. Some people even getting 3.5 lakhs per annum in some companies like Novartis, then Novo Nordisk. This company are providing 3.5 to 4 lakhs per annum salary at initial stage only. So that is a good option. So today, large number of healthcare companies, as I mentioned, are involved in PV activities. So one can start their career as pharmacovigilance associate or junior scientific and medical writer, we called it in our company, or drug safety executive or drug safety associate. So here is your career pathway, how you can grow in this industry. So if you are entering in this field as a fresher, then you will be working as drug safety associate or junior data analyst. There are alternate names, but work should be it is same for all. Then if you are having 0 to 2 years of experience, then you will work as PV associate. So if you are going beyond that and you are spending 4 years in this sector, then you can work as senior drug safety associate. Beyond that, you may have aggregate report scientist, And if you are having more than 7 or 8 years of experience, but one condition, you should match all the skills to work as team leader. Then beyond that, you can work as manager, senior manager, then director, CEO of the company. So how you can grow in this industry? So there are so many ladders are there. You have to pile up those, and you have to build those skills to grow this to grow in this industry. So what will be your role and responsibilities to work as drug safety executive or drug safety associate? So here what you will do, you have to receive, follow up and report the adverse events. Then you can review and process the adverse events reported by the investigators. You can prepare safety reports as per Schedule Y format to report the regulatory authorities and also other investigators who are the part of this study. So research and provide medical and scientific information to healthcare professionals to various functional areas in the company. To conduct, analyze scientific literature search using the critical judgment and the professional scientific expertise to support project or queries. Then you can review clinical trial protocols, bioavailability, bioequivalence study protocols, and provide your inputs and support the clinical trial team. You can generate concise, accurate, and well written case narratives. You are responsible for effective and efficient development of safety management plans, including development of specific process to assure consistency within the project. You can effectively maintain the safety database and corresponding entry guidelines, including accurate entry of data and assurance of quality of data through quality control process. Also, you have to perform the consistent coding of diseases through MEDRA coding, then adverse events and medications according to project needs. So these are the general responsibilities. As a fresher, I don't think so you will understand all these things, but just keep it in mind that will be the work you have to do once you entered into pharmacovigilance field. So what are the career opportunities? Where you will be placed? So today approximately 70 plus organizations are present in India which are involved in PV activities, and they are having their own separate PV units. So type of company which are including pharmaceuticals, IT companies, biotech, specialized pharmacovigilance centers, then CROs are there. So I have listed few of these companies. It may be more than that. Novartis, Paraxel, Dr. Reddy's, Lupin is there, Cognizant, TCS, Accenture, Lupin, AstraZeneca, USP Private Limited. Dr. Amrit Karmarkar sir has just mentioned about his company. That is also a very nice company to work. Then Illili is there. Also, Docplexus is one of the companies currently emerging. PPD is there. So all these companies are there where you can be placed. So when and how should you start? So during your regulatory study or regular study or the professions, you must gather the information on current trends, companies involved in job responsibility from open source. Also, you can join such webinar sessions where industrial experts come and visit to your college, or nowadays where they are conducting the webinar. So that is a very nice platform to gather the information. What are the current trends are going on in the industries, so that you are aware of that. Not only the book knowledge is important, but also what is the market value of your degree, that also you should keep in mind. So because of that, add-on courses has been started in Ali-allana College of Pharmacy. So you have to take advantage of such courses as well, because that will be important and that will build your skills at academic level only, so that you will not face much more challenges once you enter into the industries. So apart from that, if anyone is having any questions, then they can shoot out.
Thank you very much, Monish, for your session. The question I want to ask you is that
Yes.
what should be the basic understanding when we want to have a job in pharmacovigilance? What basic life science graduates are taken in pharmacovigilance currently?
Okay. Yeah, sir. That is very good question actually, and thanks for that question. So, if you want to start your career in pharmacovigilance, then you must be life science graduate at least, B Pharm or M Pharm, or even PA. PharmD people are also they are making their career in this field, and basically you have to well versed of pharmacology concept. In that, you have to be well versed about diseases like a mechanism of action of particular drug or what are the side effects, because in pharmacological books there are so many drugs are there for which side effects has been reported in our textbook only. So interviewer may ask you about mechanism of action of particular drug. For example, sidnifil is the drug which is vasodilator, but it is having one of the major side effect, and it is well known side effect, that is orthostatic hypotension. So after taking this drug, patient may experience hypotension. So that adverse effect you should know while you went to interview. Apart from that, you must have your general abilities such as qualitative and the quantitative skills also they may test upon. And you must have good command on English, because in this field you have to mainly deal with people in English only. So you have to work on English as well.
Thank you very much, Monish. Rahil sir, if there are any questions from the participants from YouTube, then you can please ask.
Sure, sir. Mr. Monish,
Yes, sir.
yeah, there's one question that how crucial is it to go for a certification course before landing a job into either in clinical research or in regulatory affairs?
Sir, see, before entering into pharmacovigilance field, when I was in bachelor degree, that time I also did such course, that is hospital pharmacy, one of the course I have done. And because of that course, I was having good knowledge about drugs and how the hospital work. So there was one question came into the interview about related to hospital management in my interview. So that was beneficial for me that time as well. So if people are doing add-on courses in clinical trial or a regulatory affair, and obviously that is beneficial for students to crack the interview, because in uh, technical tests they may ask question on current affairs in regulatory, or they may ask question on clinical research, what is going on in the clinical research. So if the students are very well aware of that during their academia only, then I think they may have more wages compared to other people which came to interview. So obviously they may have added advantage of doing such certification. And again, he can put in CV that I have done this add-on course. So obviously you will have more wages compared to the other people. So that is important to do such courses during academics.
Thank you very much, Munish. There is another question for you, and which is supposedly the last one from the audience side. That
Yes, sir.
what are the basic or major questions which are asked in the interview when a fresher goes for the interview
Yes,
for
yes.
a job in PV in pharmacovigilance?
Very basic questions they may ask you. What is definition of pharmacovigilance? What is adverse drug reaction? What is adverse events? Then what are the timelines of serious or non-serious cases? As already I mentioned, for serious cases, 15 days is the timeline. Non-serious cases, 30 days timeline is there. Apart from that, they may ask you about classification of drug. For example, anti-diabetic, anti-hypertensive, then barbiturates, hypnotics, sedatives, anti-cancerous. So, n number of questions they may ask about classification of the drugs. So, a main basic thing will be about pharmacokinetics and the pharmacodynamics. That student should be well prepared for before going to interview. Those will be the basic questions.
Okay, that was really an excellent answer. Thank you, Mr. Manish. There is one question which every fresher has in his or her mind, and
Yeah.
that is it's about what will be the average salary to after getting a job into PG or CR. Yeah,
Currently, sir,
as you know,
yeah, yeah. TCS and Cognizant are providing, I think Cognizant is providing 2.4 lakhs per annum to the fresher, M-Pharm fresher.
okay,
Again, TCS is providing 2.8 lakhs per annum. Then in our company, I'm working in Springer Nature. There you may get 3 lakhs per annum for fresher. So you know that is a good salary because at overtime that was not there. But now the trend has been changed. People are getting almost 25,000 per month in hand salary as a fresher. If he is having good skills, there are certain conditions like if he is doing such add-on courses or he is more expertise compared to other people, then obviously salary will be no bar for such people.
thank you very much. Because this is a very kind of questions which our audience is asking.
Yes, yes,
So
typical questions. Yes, yes.
thank you very much. Yeah, it is a typical question because freshers are more the students who are into their final years, or if they have completed their final year, they usually ask these kind of questions.
Yes,
So that
yes,
is
yes.
perfectly okay. So
Yes.
I guess that was something which is perfectly okay for the student side. And
And you people are there, Javed sir is there. Then again, I know because for all the students, I just want to give message that I am alumni of Ali-allana College of Pharmacy only. I was first passed out in 2013 from our college only, and now almost I'm getting more than 12 lakhs per annum salary. So you can just assume it's not like that where you are doing your degree because if you are having good skills, then you may go beyond that. And Ali-allana College of Pharmacy, it is having very good reputation in North Maharashtra University as well. So people can grab that opportunity to do such additional courses, and they are having now such opportunities. At our time, such courses were not offered. So we were looking for such courses at other places, but now in our college only it has been started. So that is a very good career option and good option to build their skills uh, through academia only. So I'll recommend all of the listeners to take advantage of such courses and join these courses as soon as possible.
okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Monish. Over to you, Javed sir, or should we carry on with the next session?
Yes, yes. Mr. Rahil, please start with your.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So, friends, again, a very good morning to you, all of you. And here, before the next keynote speaker, I would just like to share something with you people. And this is going to be a kind of, most of the students have their certain things in their mind that what is, employability and how we are going to get employed into a particular organization. So for that particular thing, we have on behalf of Ali-allana College of Pharmacy and the certificate courses in clinical research and pharma regulatory affairs. I'm just giving you a little bit of overview regarding what employability is. So before going ahead, what employability is, you should understand what clinical research is. And we are talking since morning itself that what is clinical research, what is regulatory affair, what is pharmacovigilance, and all. Understand this thing. And anytime when a pharmaceutical company thinks that they want to, have a new molecule into the market for a certain kind of disease, okay, say for diabetes, if they are researching a particular molecule, so there is a primary research or basic research in which the drug molecule is being discovered, and then its receptor affinity is checked. That is all done on the lab scale. Then it moves to the preclinical part, where in preclinical part the molecule is being tried on animals. Okay, इसका जो trial होता है that is on animals only, and after the preclinical part it goes to the clinical phase, and these clinical phases are known as phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and then comes phase 4, that is PV, pharmacovigilance. And for all this particular, segment of the research for a drug molecule, several number of people are required. Several number of people are required. So as you can see, this is the infinite area where the molecule is being researched into the laboratory, and then the major area comes that actually goes for 6 to 10 years. And there are, most of it is the area where the experts in the one particular area has been assigned, like the chemistry, pharmacologists, or pharmaceutics and all. But any Jack and Jill of all trade can actually land a job into clinical research. Whether you are from pharmacy background, whether you are from BSc background, microbiology, biotechnology, okay, any other life sciences background, you can land a job into clinical research. Okay, so what you can, an investigation conducted on human beings. Clinical research, the definition of clinical research, which I have summarized in a very short manner over here, that is an investigation conducted on human beings. That is the term clinical research or clinical trial is all about. There can be therapeutic trials, there can be non-therapeutic trials, like, new drug development or new therapeutic regimes, new medical devices, and all. And we are going to see all these things in the upcoming session as well. Why India? Why India is becoming a hub for CT? That is the major part. That why in today's scenario, India is becoming a hub, a major capital, a major center for clinical research. The number one part is, which also has been explained by previous speaker, that we have, English-speaking population over here. And number one thing is that we are highly populated country. Because of the population, we also have an advantage that we have accepted English is our second language, unlike the other countries like China or other highly populated countries. Then we have, a good team of physicians, MBBS doctors, MD doctors, and all. And then we have very qualified people like BPharm, BSc, biotechnology, microbiologists, MPharm, PharmD, and all. Then we have a very large patient population. That is, we have almost, that every disease patient pool is available in India. Likewise, if you can see diabetes, in terms of diabetes, India has already become a hub of diabetes, a capital of diabetes. We also have various large number of patients in terms of cardiovascular diseases, cancer patients, then in terms of infectious disease as well. And we also have a great infrastructure like hospitals, healthcare centers, and all. This is a major question which most of the current students of final year or third year will, ask, maybe asking to their own selves or to their seniors, or, they have this particular question, that where will you see in yourself in 5 years? After landing a job into clinical research, you can become, you have to start, there are certain job roles in clinical research, like clinical research coordinator, clinical trial, sorry. If you land a job into, if you want to go into trial process, then you can become clinical research coordinator, then you can become a clinical trial assistant, then clinical trial site monitor, CRA 1, 2, and 3, then senior CRA, project manager. These are the jobs. You can also land a job into data sciences like data management. and clinical data management, which is known in CDM in short. You can become a data coordinator. Then if you are very good in terms of statistics, so you can also work simultaneously in the statistics department. Then study design, clinical IT, data analyst, data manager, project manager you can do. And there are also jobs in terms of quality assurance and quality control into clinical research, that is a regulatory specialist, technical writer, QA and QC auditor. So these are the things. There are the roles in clinical research where you can land yourself. And what exactly an employer see when you are going for a clinical research job? What employer, as an employer, what most of the employers are seeing as an employee in you? There are certain life skills or employability skills which we are talking about. As I have started my presentation on that topic only, that today is the era to acquire or upgrade your skills every day, each and every day. Most of the people have this particular dilemma in their mindset that if I have done my bachelor's degree or my master's degree or my PhD, or even somebody is doing MBA or other kind of qualification, they think that once I am getting the degree, my education is over, my learning part is over. Let me tell you, friends, learning never stops. Learning never ever stops. Even we are doing the same thing currently. We all are. Even if you will ask Mr. Monish, if you will ask Dr. Ejaz sir, if you will ask Dr. Javis sir, if you will ask other panel member like Khalil, Mr. Khalil Ahmed and all, even myself, we all are doing upgrading ourselves day by day. Each year we go and do some sort of certification courses. So the employability skills which the employer will look into you. Number one is learning. Number two is teamwork. Number three is problem solving, initiative, planning and organizing, self-management, communication, technology. And one thing which I have not written over here, which I am going to discuss with you, that is adaptability. Adaptability means you are adaptable towards the change. Like currently, we are adapting this particular kind of platform of Zoom because of COVID-19 pandemic. But there are adaptability comes into two terms. It can be due to force, or it can be due to your self will. So this particular era came into light because of force due to a pandemic. But you have to be ready to adapt the changes by your own selves. So the very severe point of employability skill is learnability. If you are thinking that you have done your bachelor's degree or your master's degree, and after that you are able to work in the any kind of organization, and you think that I am not going to learn anything, then you are wrong, because you have to keep upgrading yourself. If you are going into an organization, they will teach you certain other things, okay, which you have not which has not been taught into your usual syllabus from your university level. So learning, there are learning styles which we already know, that is visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. Some people, like to they learn very fast by seeing things. Some people learn very fast by listening to certain words or certain things. And there are certain people who wants to do something. Unless and until they are doing something, they are not able to learn that particular part. So if you want to earn, you have to learn, okay? And if you really want to earn high, you have to keep learning every day. That is something which is the point which we have discussed over here. Then there are mindsets. If you want to learn, there is a mindset which actually keeps stopping a person by learning or adapting new things. That is due to the major part, that is due to your mindset. There are basically two types of people, of mindset of people. One is fixed mindset, another one is growth mindset. The fixed mindset is something where a person gets fixed, that I have learned each and everything. Now I am not, though I do not have to change now. I do not have to learn anything new. Okay, so this is a fixed mindset. Otherwise, a growth mindset person is having every day he's ready to grab new knowledge, new skills, and he's ready to do something new. So that is the difference between these two people. So you have to decide where do you fall. Then the power of yet. Don't say that I don't have, I have not completed. Say I have not completed my syllabus yet. Yet means I have not completed the thing. I am not good at math. I am not creative. I don't know clinical research. This is a wrong notion. You have to say that I don't understand division yet. Yet but I will understand, I will learn it later. I will start learning it. I cannot design a house yet, but yes, I can after learning this. Similarly, I don't know clinical research yet. Why? Because it is not been into your area. But if you really want to do, you can start all over. Why clinical research? Uh, or why a career into clinical research? It is a sunrise industry, which is a booming market, huge demand, and the major part, apart from the points which I have mentioned in my PPT, I would like to tell you few things. From the usual kind of job like production or marketing or QA and other kind of jobs, this particular jobs give you an edge over to other jobs. Like being a part of a clinical trial for a certain molecule gives you an identity. So you can become a one of them, that I have been a part of that particular clinical trial 5 days ago, and now currently this particular drug in the market and people are consuming it. So if a person is taking a certain pill, after you were a part of that particular clinical trial, you can call them and say that I was working on this particular molecule when it was under the clinical trial. So this is something usual, unusual thing which you can discuss with your colleagues as well. And as you know that pharma industry or medicine is never going to have a stagnant period, okay, unlike other fields. So clinical research is also going to boom. Why? Because as we know that currently the bunch of diseases from which the people were fearing, those were cancer, diabetes, cardiovascular disorders, and certain other diseases. Suddenly a new pandemic arrived uh, in the month of in India, it came into, lockdown came into March, but the disease already came into the month of January. So it is something that, we have already got new kind of diseases as well into our usual settings. So hence the clinical research is something which is going to be there. As we all know that there is several vaccines which are under investigation, which are under the clinical trial. How you can start a career? Simple. You can enroll into certificate courses into clinical research or pharma regulatory affairs. If you don't know which course to go opt for, you can contact us. We can counsel you. But this is a particular course which is also affiliated by KBC NMU, that is Kavitri Ben Bainaben Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. And this particular course is being offered by Ali-allana College of Pharmacy, Akalkua. So this is the benefits of this particular course, that you can have a kind of all kind of learning styles over here, like visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and all. And it is affiliated through a particular state-run university, and there are mentors which have age over other things. Like the mentors in this particular course have exposure into industry as well as into academics. All the mentors into this particular course were also part of clinical research or regulatory affairs or industry, and now they are also part of academics as well. So this is a kind of bunch experience with the teachers or the faculties or the mentors which have for this particular course. So this is something which I would like to end with my presentation, that is, babies never stop using their brain. They fall an unbelievably amount of times, and they also keep coming, and now look how much they accomplish in just a few years. So control their body, laugh, talk, crawl. So never let the baby amongst yourself die. Thank you. Thank you very much. So if you have any other questions, you can share later on. Now over to Dr. Ejaz Ahmed sir. Dr. Ejaz Ahmed sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Rahil sir, for your fine presentation about the course. So first, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Khalil Ahmed. Can you share his presentation? First, his introduction, followed by presentation.
Yes, sir.
So, very good morning. And first, I would like to welcome Mr. Khalil Ahmed and other speakers on the occasion of Pharmafocus. So, let me introduce. I am very much pleased to introduce Mr. Khalil Ahmed, who is Associate Global Trial Director, Novartis, Hyderabad, India. Mr. Khalil Ahmed did his bachelor from Bharti Vidyapeth, Pune University in the year 2002. Completed his master from D.Y. Patil Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Pune University in the year 2006. He has been certified with PG Diploma in Clinical Research from Mumbai University in the year 2008. Looking at its very good professional expertise and the record, presently, as I told, working as a global trial director in the Novartis. He had worked as a group leader in the clinical project management since 2010 to 18. He had associated with Toran Pharmaceutical as a scientist too, and clinical research associated with the Macleod Pharmaceuticals. Mr. Khalil Ahmed is a specialist in the global clinical trial operations, clinical regulatory affairs, vaccines, cardiovascular, immunoinflammatory, cell gene clinical trials. So we are very much fortunate and thankful to Khalil Ahmed, who is with us in today's Pharmafocus, who I request Khalil Ahmed to share his presentation and views on this occasion. Over to Khalil Ahmed, sir.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Thanks for the nice introduction. I'm humbled to be part of this session today. So, and I've been hearing this your entire entire session and the talks from the speaker right from the morning.
Thank you.
And some of the speakers have already made my life easy. So I think it will be easy for a student to understand what I'm going to speak now. So let's look at the slide, maybe the first slide.
Right, sir. Please share the slide.
Do you want me to share it? I can also try to do it from my end.
No,
Or okay, it
it's
is
just going
coming
to
now.
share. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, by the time and the slides are coming on the screen, yeah. So I just wanted to sorry for my bad voice today. So I just wanted to make a disclaimer that all the topics that I'm going to represent today would be of my own views, and it does not have anything to do with Novartis. So that's a kind of disclaimer, and this is mainly for the educational purpose for the students. And I appreciate if you have any question, I will be more than happy to address. And as we have already seen, some of the founding principles for or the basic definitions of what clinical research is, what are the different career options in this specific field. My focus would remain on what is something that you as a students, once you complete your education, what is going to be the skills that are essential for you to penetrate into clinical research industry. And I'll just build on what has been told because part of it is already covered, but I'll try to give a frame of what actually the industry is looking from the people who are aspiring to join the industry. Next slide, please. Yes. So let me give a bit of the background. So remember in the last presentation from Rahil sir, you have seen that purple box, which talks about the clinical journey of a molecule. So it actually starts with first in human or the phase 1 trial, and it continues with different phases until market authorization and even post marketing. So, and that piece actually comprises of the clinical trial journey of any molecule. Now that entire history actually resides in a very thoughtful clinical development plan, and that clinical development plan is actually the overall strategy of a molecule. I'll continue on building on the same example which Dr. Ryle said, is about how, for example, a diabetic molecule is moving from preclinical to clinical. Now, to have your molecule registered either as a sponsor or as academia, if you are researching on any molecule, if you want your molecule to be registered with health authority for marketing application, marketing authorization, in that case, you have to build an overall submission strategy. Like, for example, you need to do a phase 1 trial, then you need to do a dose finding study, you need to optimize something in the from the efficacy front. You need to see any early signals that you have heard a little bit from the pharmacovigilance colleague today. And then you will see how efficacious and safe that molecule is overall, and how many clinical trials you actually need from phase 1 till marketing authorization to make sure that you are ready for application to regulatory authorities and asking for marketing authorization. So that forms actually the first part of the overall strategy. Okay, and this strategy is actually is supported by two main pillars, and that's science and operations. Okay, so a robust strategy cannot survive if you don't have a strong science, a strong scientific base to support it. And in our case, for as we are talking about the clinical research industry or the drug development process, you should here your target would be to meet to actually bring the product or a molecule in the market for unmet medical needs. Okay, so that would be your objective. Say, for example, if there are uh, let's take the example even for today. So COVID-19 has really no solid treatment as such as an antiviral, as you have learned also in the past presentation, but people are still trying to evolve and they build their understanding of the disease and also try to explore it through science. Okay, so unless we don't understand the science, we will not able to operationalize those things in a way as it is expected by regulatory team. So here the operations comes into play, and predominantly my exposure is in clinical trial operations, and we simply cannot dissect ourselves from strategy and the science. So if you would like to penetrate into clinical research industry, you really need to understand how the development of a molecule happens from its inception till its marketing authorization and even beyond. Likewise, you also need to understand the basic science behind this, the reason why we are doing it. It's not just about generating dollars, but it also making sure that we have options for patients and the treatment options for unmet medical needs in the population. And an operational team is the one who actually makes sure that the clinical trial are executed. I'm just emphasizing on the word execution. So operations is all about execution of the clinical trial. No matter how big is your strategy, no matter how robust is your scientific concept, but if you're not able to execute your operations well as expected by your regulatory authorities, your data will not be looked at. Your data will be questioned. The integrity of your data will be in question. So operation is takes a very fundamental principle in making sure that you generate the right data to allow you to allow any pharma industry to get the marketing authorization. So let's move on to the next slide, please. Yeah, so that was just an overview what is clinical research industry is all about, and what are the elements that that we look at: strategy, science, and operations. Now, irrespective of any of the job profile that you will be landing up after completing your respective courses, you will of course be aspiring to get a job in the industry. And if that is the case and that is your aim, in that case you minimally have these requirements. I remember one of the questions from the students: what are the basic requirements for the pharmacovigilance for getting a job into pharmacovigilance field, right? Likewise, for anybody who would like to be part of the clinical trial operations, these are the basic must-have competencies while going for an interview, or even before preparing for an interview, and even before making sure that your CV has been selected. Okay, even before trying to understand which industry to approach and for what profile to apply for. So these are the must-have, I would say, things that you should be spending time if you are really aspiring to be getting a profile into this industry. Start with basic knowledge of the disease area and the treatment options. So not necessarily that you need to know all disease areas, but at least you should be aware of. For example, if you're approaching to a company like Novartis, so we have the competencies in certain therapeutic areas, like in cardiovascular disease, immunology, hepatology, and dermatology, oncology, cell and gene therapy, for example. So likewise, if you are approaching to any industry, you should be aware of the disease area. And for those such diseases, what are the options that a patients will get? Not necessarily from the company to whom you're approaching, but overall from the patient perspective, what are the options available for that patient? Okay. Then understand the overall clinical development strategy, and a part of it you have already covered, like the entire life cycle of the molecule. At the same time, look it from the industry perspective, like why somebody is actually investing billions of dollars, and at the same time so many years to develop a drug. So it's clinical development strategy is not just about conducting these trials in phases one by another, but also try to understand why we really need a first in human trial in relatively less population. Why do we need a phase 2 trial for dose optimization? What will happen if somebody is overdosed? So how such a situation will be handled? Okay, because if your drug is not working, then you would end up in having you need to terminate your entire clinical development plan for a given molecule. Okay, so this is a very high risk industry in terms of the molecules which are comes in first in human, and eventually which goes for marketing authorization. Okay, then we have already learned that we in the pharma industry overall globally, you say it either globally or locally, you have to understand the competitive environment. What I mean by that is you should understand, for example, if you are approaching to any CRO, for example, PPD, Quintiles, or Parexel for that matter. So what are the competitive, who are the competitions for these CROs? So these the CROs are actually, they are one of the, I would say, key pillar for any pharmaceutical company to be run. So am I still audible? I don't see the slides
So
now.
you are audible. I was actually, the connection was disconnected.
Okay.
That's why. But
Okay, no worries. I
and
can
please,
continue. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And please tell me when to, do the next one.
Yes, I'll tell that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So, so, so any CRO is actually is a very essential component even for pharma industry, because they sponsor pharma companies, uh, provide some or delegate some of the responsibility into trial life cycle to these CROs, big CROs. Okay. Now, the other element that you also need to understand the clinical trial design. So just go to any of the website, take out a clinical trial protocol, read it through, try to understand what all element a clinical trial protocol has, and how the clinical trial design is built, and what purpose it is being designed. So for example, if you take out a phase 3 trial, majority of them will be having endpoint as the safety and efficacy, to establish the safety and efficacy of a given molecule in XYZ indication. Okay, so understand the design. I think that will be something that you can still do. uh, uh, you don't need to wait for something to happen. You can do it in your spare time. Knowledge of clinical trial regulation. If you are targeting to work for local industry, like for India, or for domestic companies who are predominantly supporting local registration with DCGI, then you should be knowing some of the guidelines which are published in CDSCO. This is our this is our regulatory authority, and the DCGI that we talk about. Schedule Y is specifically talks about how do we conduct clinical trials in India. Then if you are targeting a big companies, multinational pharmaceutical sponsors, or any of the CRO for that matter who are supporting these companies, I would strongly advise to go through clinical trial regulations from uh, key, or I would say major markets like US FDA, and European Medicine Agency, and Japan for that matter, like PMDA. Safety and SAE reporting requirement. These are the basic thing that whether you go for a PV or whether you work for a clinical operation, you should be knowing these things. I think these are something that you should be by default having known by the time you go for an interview. Let's move on, sir, to the next slide. Yes. So the last slide was talking about something that you should have. There is no argument. There is, I mean, there is no, I would say, negotiation on those skills. And the next set of slides, I'll take 5 of those key skills. And one of them is leadership. And this leadership is a very broad term actually, and it start right from the time we start as a child, right from the time when we start making any decision, be it as a child, and as we grow along, we have been supported by several or influenced by several internal and external environment. So leadership is actually a journey, and it will only stop with by the time I mean it ends your life. So it's actually relates to everybody at every level. But I just wanted to give the perspective of what actually the industry is looking at in any of the candidate for that matter, not just for the clinical research, but for any of the candidate. So these are the things that you should have some of the examples where as a fresher, you might not have a right example, but you can relate this to any of the experiences that you had in the past, be it in your academic life or in anything that you managed independently, like any short project, any of the assignment that you did outside of your academic activities, any of the sports in which you have been fundamentally shown any of the leadership quality, then that will also support these kind of questions which comes from under the heading of leadership. Like for example, anybody who is working in the industry should able to relate their work with the entire project strategy. So if you're not aligned, you will not able to meet the objective, what strategy you wanted to achieve. Then you, as a leader, because maybe at the starting you will start your career, and then over a period of time you will develop yourself, you will increase in the ladder, so you will able to have that mentality to support your team. And team does not necessarily mean your subordinate. Team is something to whom you work with, either your superior, your colleagues, or your subordinate, or anybody who is a part of this journey. Motivate your colleagues, work very cohesively with within the team, and especially in operations, you have to make judgments, and these judgments not every time it is black and white. So you will not find answers to everything in writing. There you would need to have you need to exercise good judgment. For example, if you are a clinical research associate, say one of the initial step into the clinical research industry, and somebody at the clinical trial site, a doctor called you, let's see, I have a patient, and this patient has forgot its medication at home, which he or she is supposed to bring to the clinic. Now, what should I do? Should I file it as a deviation? Should I report this to the sponsor, or should I ask the patient to get those left out medicine into the next clinic visit? It's a very simple thing, okay? But here you need to apply your judgment. Even you don't find the answer to these kind of question anywhere in writing. Then drive change. I think I don't need to explain more. Rahil sir has already uh, made it very clear that you should have change. You should have a strength-based mindset or growth mindset, and this is something very essential for the changing environment in which we are living right now, and we have to accept the fact this is going to be even I mean, there would be even more drastic changes in the future with the evolution of data and digital. Next slide, please. Yeah. So in addition to leadership, and let's talk about a little bit deeper on operational and the project excellence. What I mean by that, if you talk about the operational excellence, so in the clinical trial coordination context, you should understand what to outsource, what to insource, like what kind of activities. Not everything you will able to do. So you have to engage multiple partners internally and externally. Then if you are engaging yourself with the external world as a sponsor, you have to have a robust plan for vendor management. On the other side, if you are interacting with the sponsor and you're sitting in the vendor's office, you should understand the expectation from the sponsor and the kind of commitment the vendor and the services has given to the sponsor. Then interaction with the different departments or different functions within the entire framework of the drug development, I would say, not just the clinical research, but the drug development. It includes your clinical trial supplies, that they will be more of a technical people from the lab site. Then you will have statisticians, you will have data management, you will have programmers, you will come to have interaction with clinical development colleagues. So interaction is a key when we talk about operations, operational excellence. And one of the element is trial documentation, because in clinical trial operations, unless you do the documentation right, nobody will believe that you have actually conducted the trial as per compliance, as per regulations. So before any drug is being given marketing authorization, there are some competitive authorities like USFD and EMA. They would like to inspect your clinical trial site, sometimes sponsors and CRO, to make sure that the application that you have made to them um, act, is actually providing the accurate, right data. The data is have no integrity issues, and the patient's safety has not been compromised. So as a sponsor who invests billions of dollars in years of investment, they can claim or they can boost about the efficacy, but at the same time they have to balance it with any of the finding that has come as a setback in terms of safety profiling of a molecule. And these kind of things can only be approved if the documentation is done right throughout the life cycle, and there would be inspectors, auditors who would be there to look at it and will make the judgment. Let's look at the project excellence. So what it means is, because if you are hired even at the entry level, you may be given an opportunity to work with one project, but over a period of time, you should be able to show the agility to manage more than one project. And that's true within time, respecting budget, and ensuring quality. Okay. The other thing is, if you are working on a multiple project, you should be able to set the right priorities. If you would not able to choose between the two, which is the priority now, then it will be an issue for your deliverables. So these are the things which are more softer kind of things which you need to manage. This part is overcoming failure and showing resilience is essential, because we work in a very dynamic environment, and if something goes wrong, we should, I mean, if we hide it, the consequences would be greater than instead of showing it off right now. Okay. Resilience means if you have to you have to remain firm with the changing environment. Like for example, even in COVID situation, there are a lot of people who have shown resilience with all the dynamic environment that has been created around inside and out, and still have delivered on their commitment. Like we're just talking about the patients in COVID. There would be patients who are already in the ICU for some other disease, right? In such cases, those patients will still be in need for the treatment which they are supposed to be receiving on a regular basis. Now here, we as industry plays an important role to make sure that we provide the access to medication to the right patient. And even in these circumstances, if we don't show resilience, then we will not be able to meet our objectives of providing medication to the patient at the right time. I think recognizing treatment and contribution is something that you will work once you work as a team lead in the future. Then you also have to acknowledge the fact that, uh, as Riles has said, they require a lot of people to manage the entire life cycle. And you will not be working alone. You have to certainly work with team members, and you need to recognize their contribution as well. Next slide, please. Yeah. Collaboration is essential as we work in the team setting. In clinical trial environment, communication is essential with clarity. Always have a mindset to respond effectively instead of reacting to anything, because you may come up with bad news. So you don't need to go into trap of the emotional blocks, rather respond it. Develop your network, because clinical research professionals are quite, I would say, not so vast as against other industries. So you have a very close network of people. Also, you end up in working with different cultures in the future. So be sensitive to the different working styles and cultures to whom you work with. Then from the courage perspective, it is, I think, because these are the bold things that we do, and this is for relatively larger purpose to bring the medicines to patients who are in need. So you and at the same time, you can actually, you need to work with people, and these are the things that may be evaluated by any of the interviewer, and they will just pose any questions to you and ask you, how would you inspire somebody else? Even if you are inspired, how do you inspire someone else? These questions may be asked. Then if something goes wrong, you should know your own accountabilities, that okay, it comes to you, and not you cannot simply say that somebody else have done it, because you should be knowing your own accountabilities very clearly. In case somebody else do not work the way as you're expecting, then you have to elevate the issue as necessary. Okay, and being working in a team environment, you certainly have to provide constructive feedback. At the same time, have the courage to accept any of the feedback in a positive way, any criticism that comes to you positively. So these are the softer part that comes in, because, and these are very essential. There are people who start on a very high note once they come into the industry, but over a period of time, if you don't accommodate yourself with the expected behaviors, you will not get the rewards and the expected career growth within any organization for that matter. So it may be looking nice for short term, but from the long term perspective, it's not something worth that you would be looking for. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is the last slide. And as I said, quality is one of the paramount. If you any trial that you are being part of, you have to ensure that you deliver with high quality and the compliance standards which are set by the regulators. And sometimes these standards are accustomed as per the companies to whom you would be working with. Then implementing the best practices consistently, because not everything that you do is right. Sometimes you have to adopt the best practices from other colleagues. So learn those best practices and try to implement if there is something compelling for you. Understand the ICH GCP, and this is something that you should be already start reading it if you are really interested to go into clinical research industry. So it's a version 3 is already ongoing, and go and read the ICH GCP, which talks about the different roles and responsibility of a sponsor, uh, and also the investigators, responsibility of the ethics committees, some of the responsibilities of the regulators, and some key requirements which are these are the founding principles for conducting clinical trial. If anybody is actually deviating it from the quality standpoint, no matter how much money you have spent, how many years you have spent to develop a molecule, but if you are violating any of the GCP principle, your drug will not be approved. So that's very essential. And as you have already learned in one of the past session, innovation is something that you cannot stop, and it's going to be even more as we are moving day by day, and mainly around data and digital. I think in initial talk, Dr. Imran shared about Science 37 virtual clinical trial, and that has only evolved. It was already exist before, even before pandemic, and but now its importance has been recognized industry wide, that this could be an alternate way. So innovation is something that you still need to explore and have that mindset, uh, which of course comes as a solution to a lot of the problems that the current industry is facing. So being a highly regulated market, we work with a lot of systems and processes, and still we need to make sure that we are compliant. We're compliant with the regulations, we're compliant with the expectation of the industry, and we are not doing anything which is actually breaching the data integrity and compromising on the safety of patients. Yeah, I think I would stop here and invite any questions that the students have.
Yes, sir. Khalid, sir.
Yes, I'm there. I'm there. Please, I'm just waiting to hear any question.
Okay.
If anybody from the panel from the organizing
Yes, yes, sir.
committee
Sir, we.
or from students? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you
Thank you
very
very
much
much
for
for
your
your
very
very
informative
informative
presentation.
presentation.
Uh, Sir, I
Sir, I
wanted to
wanted to
know
know
the
the
healthcare
healthcare
workers,
workers,
that
that
is
is
physicians
physicians,
and pharmacists, how are they
how are they
compared
compared
in
in
clinical
clinical
research?
research?
Means
Means
the
the
physicians,
physicians,
nurses,
nurses,
and
and
other
other
healthcare
healthcare
workers,
workers,
they
they
are
are
as
as
versus
versus
pharmacists.
pharmacists.
How
How
are
are
they
they
considered
considered
for the
for the
clinical
clinical
research?
research?
Okay. So my answer could be a little longer here because you just need to understand the setting. So clinical, if you look it from the sponsor perspective, or if you look sponsor as an employer, in that case, the pharmacists are predominantly placed in the clinical trial operational part. Okay, whereas the doctors are placed in clinical development part, like more to do with the scientific aspect, more involved in designing of the clinical trials, whereas the pharmacist, be it a B Pharm, M Pharm, or life science graduates, they are mainly into operations, because even from the regulatory perspective, there are certain liabilities for some regulations which requires a medical doctor to evaluate certain scientific and medical things, like outcome of a serious adverse event. That simply I'm not qualified. Maybe I'm informed in pharmacology, but I don't have that skills to make that clinical judgment. So here I would rely more on the physicians and the doctors who are employed by pharma companies in the pharmacovigilance team, or even in the clinical trial, even in the drug development area, there are set of physicians who work on developing the overall clinical development plan, and ensure that by doing this, we will end up in uh, making sure that our product is successfully registered. So that is from the sponsor's perspective. Now, if we talk about at the clinical trial site, say for example, I'm just giving an example of Apollo Hospital in Hyderabad. So they will also be having their clinical research center in the hospital. There exactly, the investigators and the physician would be the one who are going to do all the clinical assessment with the patients directly. At the same time, uh, if they are conducting a clinical trial, there would also be a need for blood draws and looking at some of the physical examination, which can be easily managed by a nurse. Okay. The other thing is, if the clinical trial is being conducted with a double-blinded investigational product, that means you have one active and one placebo, and nobody knows what these kits have, whether it is an active, whether the kits are given active, or it is a placebo. In that case, you would need a pharmacist to dispense those medications to the patient. So that's one thing. The other thing is we have the clinical research coordinators who coordinates everything, like ensuring that the data entry happens rightly on the time within the electronic CRF, making sure all documentation at the clinical trial sites are placed appropriately. It is signed by the principal investigator and the physician. All assessments are done it rightly. So all these things. So depending on the role, where exactly, depending on the kind of requirement for protocol to be executed at the clinical trial site, different roles are assigned. And there you will find a place for pharmacist. One is for the pharmacist, another is for the clinical research coordinator. So they are the ones who actually coordinate all different functions, just like a project managers. And this is usually the trend right now in India, where a lot of big hospitals with reputed doctors, they really don't have time to manage everything together, but they delegate some of the responsibilities to their clinical research department, to clinical research managers, and they take care of coordinating things, while the principal investigator or the physician will only come into for the key assessments or key decision making. I hope I answer your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your explanation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Khalil, sir. And now, very quick ahead, we would like to move to the next segment of our session. And I would like to invite Professor Dr. Ejaz Ahmed, sir, to please continue with the session. Professor Dr. Ejaz Ahmed, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Rahul sir. I'd like to thanks first Mr. Khalil Ahmed sir for a very elaborative and explanatory sessions. So definitely all the students and the participants are benefited with your nice presentations. So with this, I just carry forward over here. Rahil Khan, can you share my slides? Hello.
Sir, I have allowed you to, you can share your slides.
Right now, I'm not able to share my slides over here. Can you allow me?
Yes. Now please check.
So the sessions which we had since morning
check, sir.
from yes, sir. Thank you very much.
What these kits have, whether it is inactive.
So since morning we have the very technical talk and the talk from the expertise which are in the field of clinical research and the pharmaceutical regulations. So in our institute, which is placed in a very remote locations, it was a dream from our director, post-director, and the teachers that our students should get benefit of it.
Within the electronic CRF, making sure all documentation at the clinical trial sites are placed appropriately. It is signed by the principal investigator and the physician. All assessments are done rightly. All these things. So depending on the role, where exactly, depending on the kind of requirement for protocol to be executed at the clinical trial site, different roles are assigned. And there you will find a place for pharmacist. One is for the pharmacist, another is for the clinical research coordinator. So they are the ones who actually coordinate all different functions, just like a project managers. And this is usually the trend right now in India, where a lot of big hospitals with reputed doctors,
I guess your
they really don't have time
another,
to
your
manage
YouTube or
everything
something
together,
is
but they delegate some
so
of the
if you can please
responsibilities
mute your
to their
YouTube.
clinical research.
Yes. Now you can go ahead, sir. Dr. Ejaz, sir.
With that intent, it was the course which has been designed and taken the permission from the Honorable CBC North Maharashtra University in the
Excuse me, sir. If you could please, make your other device silent.
Already being silent over here.
Yeah.
Okay, now, right, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
So, because of some of the technical things, We could not get the approval in the year 2015, but later on in the year 2016 17, again we applied for these two courses and frame the syllabus and design the syllabus according to the versatile and dynamic need of the industry for the clinical research and the pharma regulatory affairs. And fortunately, we got the registration under the head of 181 KBC North Maharashtra University. My intention to make you that what was the uh, feedback from the alumni who have done this certificate course, because it is mainly designed for the industry orientation and the current trends which are there in the industry for the segment of regulations and the clinical trials. So from the batch 2018, I have the feedback from one of the alumni, Mr. Aman Ansari. Actually, what is his word? He said it was a very well designed course that covered the basic aspects of the regulatory affair and the clinical research. In his opinion, the syllabus was very well designed and established, looking at the need of the industry. The training faculty was very experienced and had a good knowledge about the domains. The trainer had a great presentation and communication skill, which made the topics a lot easier for the audience to understand. The course also include an examination which improved the learnings. The course also included a practical 10 days industrial training in the reputed CROs. And overall, this is a very good for the individuals looking forward to make their career in the pharma regulatory affair and the clinical research. Right now, this person, Mr. Aman Ansari, acting as a senior process executive in the Cognizant. Second alumni, she is recently uh, done the certificate course in the year 2019. Khan Nardin, working as a QA executive. The certificate course, in his opinion, in her opinion, the certificate course like CRA and RA are very helpful for the jobs industry point of view, and in half or less than half fees comparing to the other place our college take. This is the main benefit. Respected guide was very supportive and having an experience of industry. Again, the techniques to teach students on their own understanding level. That's the great part of our course. I'm really satisfied that I have done this course. Thankful to Ali-allana College of Pharmacy and the staff. She's been placed in the Vocard Pharmaceutical and have been asked about how, what was the content of the course, and uh, what are the latest trend in the particular regulations, regulatory affairs. So she answered that she has done so and so course and given feedbacks to the mentors also. The recent batch student Syed Abdul Zahid has opinion about, after completing a regulatory affair course, I know all about the clinical trials and the current affairs which are going on in the market and various inspections of the FDA. What things FDA wants or expect from the industry for the approval. This is very much basic actually for these students. We also study about the various drugs development study and techniques which is available and comes soon in the market, and various things which are coming into the market profession, which are studied in this course. After completion of this course, a lot of things we are understanding about. And in last, thank you so much all the RA family to help us creating such a great course. So this is the current batch student. The batch 17-18 students from the clinical research. Sayyid Nazifa, she is studying and going to complete her post graduation now. She did his clinical research certificate course. What she said, clinical research, a great course. I received a lot of information and knowledge about how actually the clinical practices are done, and also got the practical knowledge about the course, that is how to take patients information consent and how to study the patient history and making CRF. These all information we got by the training work in Al Noor Hospital, Aurangabad. All the teachers have the best knowledge to teach this course, and I felt very grateful to being the part of this course. I'm thankful to all the teachers who teach us and give their best. Lastly, the current batch student Afan Saudagar has opinion about the course. The lecture modules are well structured and easily understandable. We had learned a lot of things of interest. I think certificate course useful to strengthen the job profile. So the intent of mine to make the participant aware about, if you enroll this course, as right from the beginning, Mr. Monish Vispute, Mr. Khalil Ahmed, and Dr. Imran sir told about the industry prospective. So all will be benefited, and definitely I suggest all of you to go for the CR and the RA regulatory affair courses. And fortunately, at the minimum cost with the lot of information. So are you looking for the better career here to enroll for yourself into these courses? So over to Rahil sir now.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for giving us such an immense presentation specifically about, what the student speaks. So, without wasting our time, now I would like to invite Mr. Amit, and over to you, Ajaz, sir, to introduce him. Ajaz, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir,
Uh,
please.
Good morning, Amit sir.
Yeah, good
So,
morning. Is it audible?
yes, sir, you're audible now.
Yeah, very good.
It's an opportunity for me to introduce Mr. Amit Khandagade, sir. So, Rahil, sir, can you make a slide view?
Yeah,
Rahil, sir.
Yeah.
So, let us talk about the uh, profile of the Amit, sir. Currently, Mr. Amit, sir, working as Assistant General Manager, Business Development, RA Chemical Pharma Limited, Hyderabad.
Zain Asif, sir.
Regarding the professional qualification, he received executive program in the business management from IIM Calcutta in year 2009. Completed his master's in chemistry from Mumbai University in the year 2011 and bachelor's in the science from the chemistry background from Mumbai University in the year 2003. About his professional experience, Mr. Amit Khandagade sir having a rich experience more than 17 years in the field of business management and business development. Sir worked as a senior manager, business development and project management at Enam Nostrum Remedies Private Limited, Mumbai in the year 2016 to 2020. He served as a manager, business development and project management at Alamic Pharmaceuticals, Baroda in the year 2013 to 16. He also served as a management staff in the business management and project management at SciTech Lab Private Limited, Mumbai from 2010 to 13. About his specialties and the skills, Mr. Amit Khandagade sir is highly skilled in the development of the business and as well to conduct these several studies in the uh, past experience. So am very much thankful to introduce Mr. Amit Khandagade sir and uh, request to give his valuable talk to the audience and the participant. Over to Amit Khandagade sir.
yeah. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Myself is Amit. Thanks a lot, Dr. Ejaz and Dr. Javed, for giving me an opportunity to give some a different part of clinical research. Means everybody is talking on technical part, everybody is talking on quality assurance, everybody is talking on clinical research, CRA part of quality control or quality assurance kind of things. Um, as a I'm handling the business development part of the clinical research. So today I'm going to give you some important part or the information about business development in clinical research. So definitely aspirants like you, those who are right now pursuing your courses in clinical research or doing your pharmacy. So this particular segment also plays an important role, and how it plays an important role. That kind of information I will share with you. So, with kind permission from your judiciary, I will initiate my presentation. So, we will move ahead with my quick overview of today's discussion. That what we are going to do is basically, please next slide. Can you? Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, Ryan sir, please. Ryan sir.
Hi, your voice is audible. Please wait. The slide will be changed. Just a minute.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, so we will just
please go ahead and you can tell me when to change.
Yeah. So it is just a quick overview what we are going to discuss in today's topic. That is a business development. So we are going to look at the first one slide is for with respect to pharmaceutical business overview. Second slide is with respect to clinical research overview, business overview. What is the market in clinical research in India as well as in the global? What kind of business opportunities for the CRO with respect to clinical research? What are the role and responsibilities has to be handled by the business development person in the CRO? What kind of key tasks for the business development person has to do? What are the key factors for the business development is required by that value? What are the challenges has to be handled in the business development department in CRO, and what kind of qualification is required is for the business development. So these are the few topics that which I'm going to cover. So we will go ahead with the pharmaceutical business overview first slide. Mr. Rahil, please, could you please see? Yeah. So if you see the global pharmaceutical market will reach to 1.57 trillion by 2023. So it is just we can say that we will reach means the global pharma market will be half of the Indian GDP right now what we do have by 2023. And this report is given by IQVIA, one of the premium institute or this organization based in India as well as a global market, as well as Indian pharma market. If we see today, Indian pharma market is about $55 billion, which is a huge in terms of Indian GDP, and there is a CAGR is about 14%, approximately 14% that which we are expecting. And by aggressive case, if we go ahead today, we have reached up to $70 billion, and we are expecting that it will reach to 33 billion will grow by 33 billion market. It is CAGR of 3 to 6% in the Indian pharma market. If we move ahead to the next slide. In terms of clinical research, the clinical trial market size was valued at $46.8 billion in 2019 and expected to compound annual growth rate, that is 5.1 from 2020 to 2027. And right now we are facing a challenge that because of the COVID-19 cases, everyone, means the person who don't know about clinical research or clinical trial, they also come to know about the clinical research because of this COVID-19 vaccine. We also know that the vaccine clinical trial going in India as well as global for this particular research. And people come to know about this clinical research with respect to, they are now taking this clinical research as a respective manner. Because there were in year 2013, we have faced a lot of problem from the Indian regulatory as well as from the media plays also an important role to hamper clinical research based in India as a one of the what we can say, it is a scapegoat that which we are facing situation. And the people, the politicians, everyone were stating that the Indian population used as a guinea pig. But now, because of this COVID-19, people thought process had changed. And currently, in Indian trial, clinical trial market has reached to $3.15 billion by 2025, with the CAGR of 8.7%. And this forecast period of the 5 years that which we have presented, and it is about 8% of the global clinical trial market that which I am expecting. And this is the data generated from McKinsey, and McKinsey has given this data, has published that Indian market will be 3.15 billion. So what is the role for the Indian clinical trial research that which we do have, and how we can grab it? It is explained in my next slide. So why there is a growth that is mentioned over here? There is a high demand in clinical trial. Why there is a high demand? Basically, because there are many innovations are going on in terms of your medical science. Few medical devices has come, your new vaccines or injections or your medicines has come to for this particular humankind. So for that particular is to serve in the market, that particular product has to serve in the market. So for that, you need to prove the clinical trials, and the number has been increased drastically. With respect to spending, as I told you, the R&D has in the pharma industry has also increased. We have to, the clinical trial has to be increased. There is a prevalence in the diseases, means now the COVID-19 or your Ebola, such kind of diseases which are emerging like a new disease, and focus has turned to that particular disease. So the pharma industry as well as the clinical trial industry has become one of the plays a potential role that we have to develop a new drug which serve the human or mankind, and we can support to in a better way for the mankind useful. There is a another rare reason is that the rare diseases or the multiple organ orphan drugs in the R&D has been increased. What are the rare diseases? Means that I don't have to tell you because you are the pharmacy student, so you also know. But there are a few rare diseases which required in our clinical trial, and people are starting taking it seriously. Even today, the clinical trial on cancer patients is going on, and that makes an different kind of role has to play for the clinical research students. So those are ongoing projects are also going on. So there are many organizations has also come up with the new technology, new R&D work. So there is a growth that which we have seen, which we are seeing in the past few years. Why there is India is a preferred destination for the city? First thing is we have a large population. We have about 1.35 billion population in India with large heterogeneous patient population. Basically, any kind of disease, you require to have a patient population to serve. And if you have that population with you, so you can be one of the chunk player in the business of that particular aspect. We are also having a rapidly transforming healthcare market. There is a n number of hospital chains has been available now in India. There is a medical tourism is one of the key factor, also plays an important role. We have highly educated physicians, pharmacists, everyone is there to support this clinical trial in India. As well as the most important part is played by the cost competitiveness. If you wish to conduct any clinical trial in the Western countries like the European or the US, Canada, or Brazil, you have to pay a lot of amount, or you have to spend a lot of amount over there. Whereas the cost in India is not that much high. Cost in India, we can say, is a 1/4 now. Earlier it was a 1/6 or 1/7. Now it has been to 1/4. Still, it is a cost competitive with respect to our neighboring countries like China, where the cost is almost double from our side. There is an increased investment from the pharma giants like Pfizer or Novartis or Eli Lilly. So these are the big pharma companies. They are also investing their R&D hub in India, and because of that, it is feasible for them to carry out studies in India itself. So a local player also now playing as a major role, like a Bharat Serum or Bharat Biotech. These are the few names that which we can say right now, because each and every Indian now knows this name because of this COVID vaccine. Right now they are developing. So these are the players, those who are also playing an important role in Indian pharma. Apart from that, there is a Indian players like Dr. Reddy's, Aurobindo, Cipla, Lupin. There are n number of pharma companies which are playing a role to enhance or boosting the clinical market in India. So these are the why the preferred destination. These are the few highlights which I have shared. My next slide is with respect to opportunities for the business in CR. So right now, in today's state, more than 200 CRO registered in India, including BAB CROs. So BAB CROs is a small part of the clinical research, we can say. It comes under phase one. I don't want to tell about what are the phase, and these are the technical as already discussed. So 200 CROs registered in India, of which are having a presence global as well as the Indian CROs. Yeah. So which are plays an important role of the global CROs, those who have been a part of India. There are more than 50 BAB CROs for the conduction of bioequivalence studies in India only. Every year, this is a data from the CTRI registration, that every year now, since last couple of years, more than 2,000 cities get registered in India. Earlier in 2013, if you see the picture, it was just 11, and now you can see the change has happened from 11 to more than 2,000. It's almost, I can say, 1,000% jump in the clinical trials conducted in India. So why this happening? Because the regulatory has changed their norms. They have posted, if you go to the DCGI, is one of the Indian regulatory, that is a Drug Control General of India, and Central Drug Standard Committee, that CDSCO. That organizations, that Indian government organizations, they have come up with the online registration of this particular trials or the BAB studies. So it is an online process which makes the CROs as well as the pharma companies or the BAB CROs to get the approval on fast track. As well as there are n number of committees has been observed for this particular cities happening in India. So this will help for getting opportunities of business for the CROs in the Indian market. So if you see the more than 3,000 BA/B studies with respect to clinical trial, more than 2,000 cities get registered in India every year, whereas more than 3,000 BA/B studies carried out by the Indian CROs every year for the global as well as the local market. So there is a huge, we can say, opportunity for the Indian CROs that which we do have. But how we will get? So we will next generate to the next slide. So who will get that business? So business development person has to be there. So as a so we will move to next slide, please. So business development is the play an important role with respect to the getting a business for the CRO. It is a vital role that he has to, or that the person, he or she has to play. So what the role, general responsibilities that business development has to do? One can say that I'm a CRA, I'm a QA, I'm a QC, I'm a physician, I'm a nurse. Any person from any background can play this role. And it is not only the business development person has to do the business development activity, but the team also has to play a vital role. And what are the general responsibilities we can say for the business development? To recognize and prepare a clinical trial research plan with CROs and pharmaceutical and biotech organizations. Explore various pharmaceutical organizations' pipeline. You should know what are their pipelines in the future. Because if you see in the major pharma giants, you can see their pipeline on their website itself. So you have to do a lot of background work before meeting them, and which therapeutic areas they are developing their new pipeline, that which we have to understand. Make a call to the target companies and seek a new contact and finish all surveys and make follow-up calls and evaluate website, as I told you, to analyze yourself and to get business. Accountable for supporting an external advertising and providing support in enrollment of subjects for ongoing clinical research at study sites. So it is not only the job of to get the business, but it is a job to get it complete on time. You have to look at the site is completing the targeted subjects within a stipulated time or not, and you have to coordinate with them also. So also you have to recognize the new responsibilities. I will talk about this accountability of supporting with external advertising and providing support in the next slide. These are the general, means recognize the new responsibilities of the pipeline molecule or product, research of all new products or ideas coming into the market and evaluate the business viability. Means now, suppose if your CRO is only having the clinical research on oncology, now there is a device organization is coming up with the device that which support the oncology patients in some other aspect. Then how your organization as a CRO can support, or how that business is viable for you, that you have to give the presentation to the management as well as to the pharma companies. So that way you can try to get that particular business at your end. You have to comply with all organizational procedures, instructions, and achievements of the organizational objective, sales, and maintain an automated monitoring for all leads, sales, and processes. So you have to use different tools to monitor your activity. So for the business development, is not just a business development activity that which you have to do. You have to do the project management part also. And project management part, either you have to use Excel sheet or MS Project kind of tools to check with your current what is going on. And with respect to business also, the MS Project tools plays an important role to track your status of current business, where we are right now standing, which clinical trial, because only one clinical trial come up and yes, my job is finished. It is not like that way. You have to go ahead with the n number of clinical trials at a time. you have to do a lot of work. In terms of BAB study, the clinical trial is basically from 1 year to 3 years, like that kind of span is there. With respect to BAB, it is just a play we can say of max to max 3 months. It is not more than that. So these are the two different segments that clinical trial and BAB, which plays an important role. And you have to acquire more and more business to maintain your organizational reputation in the market. And you also have to comply with the regulatory norms also. Means you at this, I'm saying as a your organization, but how it is going to maintain the regulatory compliance by getting a more and more business only. It is not like that you are just one study you have done and now you will get it all kind of accreditation. No, you have to do a number of trials, then only you have to get it. And after all, there is a because of the COVID situation, most of the uh, conferences or the exhibitions that which are going online, but it is a business development job that he or she has to attend the clinical research conferences and exhibitions and explain the people and about your organization, as well as you can get more business inquiry from that particular exhibitions. So now we will move ahead with the next slide, which the BD person has to play what kind of role. Earlier, which I just gave you the brief information about general responsibility, but this is the a key factor that which plays an important role as a BD person. That when you are meeting any organization for the getting a business, you must have to identify the right person or right people over there in that organization. Because if you have might be a friend working in looping or your friend working in LILD in some position, but for business, if you're talking with them, please give me a business, please give me a business, no, it won't be helpful for you. So you have to ask them. Yeah, it is a one kind of step I can say to move ahead with respect to business, but you must have to play a key, identify the key person over there to make an entry into that organization. You have to communicate with the right person. You have to, the pitch is important. What kind of pitch? The pitch is basically is with respect to an elevated speech that which we can say of 10-15 seconds when you are talking with them. It is whenever you are going to talk, whenever you are getting an appointment, you must have to tell them about your organization, what kind of essential role that which you are playing in your own organization. You have to talk about 5 to 10 minutes that what kind of organization plays an important role in the clinical industry, what is your percentage of business that which you are doing in the industry, what kind of experience you do have, what kind of capabilities you do have in the industry. So that kind of pitch that which I'm talking about. There is another aspect is due diligence. What is due diligence? That you have to know about when you are entering into that particular organization for the business. You must have to know what kind of, as I informed you in my earlier slide, that you have to do a market intelligence. You have to know that the pipeline of that particular organization. So this is the due diligence you have to do. This is not only with respect to the organization, but it is with respect to the regulatory also. You have to be updated day in, day out. That yes, now this clinical, now with take an example of clinical trial, what happens after COVID-19 situation? Earlier, the COVID-19, earlier the monitoring is supposed to be happen on site. Now online monitoring has started. So this is the new activity. So you have to be very quick in that terms that absorb that particular thing and get it done at your CRO, get it done at your organization. So by that way, how you are a very first thing is that you are going to be a quick learner from that particular thing. You are showing a interest that yes, with respect to current, uh, uh, just hold on. Give me a 5 minutes. You are leaving? Okay. So with respect to due diligence, you are showing your customers or your clients also that yes, we are ready for any kind of shock or any kind of new coming from regulatory as well as from sponsor point of view. We are ready. So you have to do a due diligence work at your site only. Definitely, business development job is not just a cakewalk. You have to achieve your sales target also, which is built up by the your organization. So how you are going to achieve this sales target? It is not just only you are bringing the business to the organization, but it is you have to build a relationship with the client as well as your own team. When you have a very good relationship with them, only you will achieve this sales target. And you have to get a support determining with recruitments of the doctors as well as the research at the clinical trial site. In earlier also I told you that the clinical trial means recruitment of the subject also plays an important role because you have to finish your clinical trial within a timeline which you have mentioned in you are supposed to give when you are preparing your project plan to the customers. So you have to take care of each and every aspect. So this is the key task that which you have to perform as a business development person. Now, what are the key factors which are play the roles? That in next slides, which I am going to tell you. So there are key factors. That is the 4 P's that which I have mentioned over here. But what are the 4 P's? 1 P is a product specification. So what are the product specification? It is basically with respect to your organization. So how your organization is prepared for that particular means your CRO basically prepared for that any new clinical trial means patients with limited options like a cancer or rare disease that which are observed in some of the regions only because not every disease happen in India, but there are a few diseases that which happens because of their atmospheric pressure. So you have to be uh, uh, product specification. You should know that each and every business is not made for you, but definitely you can get it by some changes in your organization. Like you can get you do tie up with some foreign CROs or hospitals where you can get it that business over there. The patient with not satisfied with the current form of treatment or anticipation, and the condition with the patient to share with the doctors. So product specification also plays an important role to continuity of that particular business. Second important P factor is the price. Why price is important? Because price plays an important role for the each trial. You know that each and every trial cost in India or in the global market is very high. If you wish to conduct any clinical trial on oncoclinical trial, if you wish to carry out on 100 patients, then it will be around, I can say around 3 to 4 crores, 3 to 4 crores. Whereas the same trial, if you wish to carry out in the Western countries or the Europe, it will reach to 12 crores to 13 crores Indian rupees. So it plays the important role as well as the price competitiveness. As in India itself, we do have many CROs. So those who become a price competitive also. So how they are shrinking their price by involving means less travel because of this online monitoring. The travel has been reduced. Your cost of your any stay or everything has got reduced. So that way you have to reduce your time, you have to reduce your cost. That cost has get reduced, your time has get reduced. So it plays an important, the price has played an important role. The next P is a place. What is the place? So it is basically the facility or the investigator site that plays an important role. Also, the other places, the CRO, yeah, the CRO from the SMOs or the hospitals or the your pharma organization. These are the three, four people. They are located at different places. So how you have to achieve your you have to synchronize with this particular thing. So that also plays an important role for you when you are dealing with the customers. Last but not the least is the promotion of your organization. That promotion, how you are promoting yourself, and for that promotion, what kind of advertisement, what kind of community utilization you are using, what kind of call centers you are using, what kind of presence you do have, that plays an important role. So these are the key factors. The another side is the challenges in the business development that which we do have in the CROs. Next slide, please. Yeah, there is a competition. As I told you, in India itself, we do have more than 200 CROs is playing a vital role. So there is a lot of challenges in the business development to get an to get a business for your CRO. There is a yeah. Sorry, there is a disturbance. Or there is a call.
Yeah, you are
So
audible now,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. So there is a competition with respect to the CRO industry. There is another play an important role is the compliance. You means since last about 5 to 6 years, we are seeing that regulatory bodies from the international regulatory bodies like US FDA or the European UK MHRA, European Health Authority, all these are coming to India for the compliance, to check the compliance whether the work that which we are carrying out at our CRO, it is up to the mark as per the requirement of that particular regulatory or not. If your organization is not going ahead with these particular challenges, then it will be difficult for you as a business development person to get a business from those particular for that particular market. Second and most important thing, third and most important thing is identification of right site, because there are a number of sites available in India, but whether that site is capable to carry out that particular study, you must have to identify that as a business development, because you have to pay them as a you have to pay them amount also. You have to coordinate with that site also. And if that site, suppose if you identify any sites and your organization has to pay a payment to that site to support to get us a recruitment or to a presentation of ICF or ethics committee and everything. So this has to be done in proper manner. Timely payment has to be done. If you are paying timely to that particular, means the customer has to pay you timely, then you are paying it to the site. So if it happens synchronized way, you will get a good results. And when you are getting a good results, your study will be completed within a stipulated timeline. But there is a challenge. That payment has to come, that payment has to release to the customer, and from customers, and from customers to the CRO, from CRO to the sites. So this, if it is not happened, you will see the hiccups in the business transaction. So if it is not done properly, or even if your customers pay you properly and you pay to the CRO sites properly, but CRO is not giving you a back that in timely manner, then it will be a very difficult situation to get to complete that particular trial in that stipulated timeline. So you have to identify, coordinate with the sites in time manner. Recruitment of the patients is also an important role. while sitting in front of the sites, they are very much enthusiastic. Okay, we will complete this many tasks, this many patients in these many months. 100 patients in a month we will recruit and everything we can do when if they would like to have a business. But and the same thing we are pitching to the customer also. Yeah, we will do it, we will do it, we will do it. But the challenge over here, if you are not getting a recruitment of that patients on time, your study get extended and you will not able to finish your clinical study in timeline. And the last but not the least, the least challenge is the patience. You must have to have a patience in your business development process, because it is not like that for each and every business is made for you, each and every customer is made for you. You have to wait a long and long time to convert any customer as your preferred partner, or they has to make you as a preferred partner. So these are the challenges as faced by the business development person in person as well as the CRO has to face. So my next slide is with respect to qualification. For qualification, I don't think there is any requirement specific qualification. What are the key factors that qualification is required? It's a good knowledge of the subject. Definitely, all you are the aspirants have a pharmacy background, so you know what is the clinical trial, how the drug is impacting, how what kind of drug is impacting, and what kind of therapeutic areas. So you have that particular knowledge. But apart from that, you must have to have very good communication skill, and communication skill is come from the inner. It is not somewhere you definitely you will have a n number of advertisement from the if you on the television or in the market. You can see we are going to teach you a communication skill, we are going to teach you a stage skill, we will totally come out of you from the stage fear or something like that kind of uh, uh, organizations are also there, but it is totally inner. What kind of communication skill you do have in you? There is a good negotiation skill also has to be there, because when you are going to the market, there are n number of players, so you are going with the one price. So that price is the base price, and you have to understand what is the base price of your organization, what is the base price of that organization that which you are getting the quotations. So you have to be a great negotiator. So if your negotiation skill is very good, then definitely you will be one of the key, you can play a key role in your own organization. You also have to creative thinking. You have to be a creative thinker. What kind of creative thinker you have to be? Basically, when suppose if organization come up with the one kind of study at your place. So you have to tell them about your other aspect also. If they wish to carry out only clinical study and data management is carried out by them, so you have to be while negotiating with them, you have to be a creative thinker for that particular aspect. So how you are going to get more and more business from them? Okay, if you wish to get this one, we are offering this one also, we are offering this service also, we are offering A also, B also, and C also, how it is helpful for you. So that kind of creative thinking you have to be developed. Second thing, you get that kind of support from your CRO also. It is not just uh, you only have to be, but you have to get the support from organization also. Analytical skill, what kind of analytical skill? It is just not analytical. You have to be means you have to be very good use of MS Office software, because when you are sitting in front of management, you have to show n number of graphs, n number of pie charts of the business. So you have to market analytics, you have to search, you have to do what your competitors are doing, what pharma companies are doing, what is the current pricing ratio. So you have to know each and everything, and you have to show to your management as well as the pharma companies. Your goal is a focused goal. It is not that, okay, I'm coming daily to the office, doing my work and going to the going home. No. Today, if organization has set a goal that in this month you have to get at least 2 clinical studies that which you have to initiate. So what is your focus? It is not just to get that business, but to convince your own team to achieve that particular goal. Okay, it is not just okay, I'm bringing the business, but who are going to do those business? That business is done by your team. So you have to be very focused to achieve your goal by involving your team into that business opportunities. When you are involving those people also, definitely it will be important, means you can achieve your goal. Getting information of the company and the people to whom you are meeting, as I told you, the due diligence or meeting the right people. So this is the qualification you must have to inbuilt. You have to inbuilt your qualification. I'm not talking about MSc, MPharm, MBA or something like that. I'm talking about your inbuilt qualification. So the rest of the qualification is the important role to achieve your to pathway to making a role in your industry. But if you have to choose any specific business development as a role in a clinical research, then these are the qualifications that you have to be in yourself. So this is the qualification. And the last note that which I would like to say in my last slide is, next slide please. It is a teamwork. You are not alone in your organization to get a business, but your team is also play an important role in your success as well as in failure. As you have seen, this is the chain. And if one person is not going to walk in ahead, the rest other will be at behind only. So it is a teamwork that which you have to play in a business development and to move ahead. So this is my short presentation. Thank you and all the best for your future. If any question, you can definitely ask.
Thank you very much, Amit sir, for such a wonderful presentation by your side. And I must say that the students should understand that how crucial it is acquire the knowledge and skill which are not, imparted through the usual kind of syllabus, and which you have to actually acquire by learning through different modes and means. By,
Yeah,
if you want to get successful career into business development or into CR. So thank you very
yeah.
much, sir. So
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
yes, one question would I just would like to ask you, sir, that what will be your suggestions to the upcoming freshers or upcoming pharmacrats or upcoming generation who are going to qualify their final year next year or whatsoever? So, what would be your suggestions for them to means how they can become a part of business development team in clinical research or pharma organizations? What skill sets
Uh,
they should acquire and how? Yes, sir.
Basically, yeah, thanks a lot for this question. As a fresher or as a experience, so first of all, I would like to tell them that you must have to have a good knowledge. As I told you, that good knowledge of that subject. How you are going to good knowledge of that subject? Academic wise, you learn everything, but experience wise, you must have to understand your organization. You have to understand the subject, understand the overall market, and how you are going to understand it by being a part of a team, means execution team. In a business development, as a the initial job will be just to send a quotation or to understand the meeting a client and everything that can be done. If as a fresher, if they would like to join in the business development part, they must have to acquire a good knowledge of that particular subject. They would like to miss initial time they will not get an opportunity to meet a client face to face, but definitely they will get an opportunity to prepare a quotations, to prepare a meeting minutes, to prepare their proposal plans and everything. So this will be the initial stage where they can definitely make an entry, and step by step, once they get an opportunity to meet the client, definitely it will not be a same job you have to do for the years and years. You will get an opportunity to make yourself present in the market after a couple of years or 3 years when you are doing the same job for your organization. Might be earlier also, it depends how you are quick learner. So definitely for the freshers, it is the basic job that they have to use is to get in preparation of quotations or means RFP. We are calling RFP, RFQ, means request for proposal, request of quotations. So like kind of job they have to do earlier phase, and then they can go ahead with the proper business development activity to support your business in the industry.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, I would like to call upon our honorable principal of ali-allana College of Pharmacy and the man behind the think tank for this particular course, the course director as well, Honorable Dr. Professor Dr. Javed Sir, Javed Khan Sir. Javed Khan Sir, over to you, sir, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Amit, for your time. And
Thanks a lot, doctor. It is a precious moment for me, and I would like to tell Rahil ji that Dr. Javed Khan is the person to whom under I groom actually. Means when I was in SciTech lab, whatever the clinical research, I'm a chemistry by background, chemist by background. I do know about the analytical clinic, your pharmacokinetics on chemistry side, but the clinical trial or the BAB is totally taught by Dr. Javed only, and he is the, I can say, pathfinder for me to make an entry into the CRO industry. So I thankful Dr. Javed for this achievement, and today whatever is there is whatever he taught me in my 2004 earlier days. So, and I know some words which he taught me, and when he had gave me a call on Monday, last Monday, so I told him that yes, these are the few words you taught me, and today also I am here because of those whatever you have given to me earlier. Yeah.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, I am in agreement with you because for our students as well and for our team as well, he is doing lots and lots of
Yeah,
work.
sure.
Thank you very much once again, Amitji. And over to you.
thank you. Thank you, Amit. And thank you, Rahil, sir, for this, for your time and your valuable guidance. I hope that all of us will benefit with your valuable talk. And definitely, we are at a point, at a turning point. We, Indian pharma company, have dominated the global market for almost 20 years now, and we are considered as the pharmacy of the world. And almost 40% of the medicines which are supplied to the global market, they are coming, or 40% of the medicines which are supplied to US, they are coming from India. And that is why very good position India is holding, and it is a proud for us also. Also, we are going to have a little bit change now, because almost all the pipelines that we have for generics, they are exhausted, and now we have a situation where we are going to have little bit of innovative products, because we want to go for innovative products, and that is going to be a important thing for us, and we need to invest a lot in innovative products now. So that is something which is going to change our focus from here onwards. So far, we have done a very good contribution, or our performance was very good when we are doing the generic products, and we have a very good generic hold in all over the world. So we are here now today at a point where we want to see how what we can do and how can we gain further momentum in this changing world. Okay. So as the Ali-allana College of Pharmacy, we have started some certificate courses, and these certificate courses were started in the year 2017. So in the year 2017, we started certificate courses in clinical research and pharma regulatory affairs, keeping in mind that we are going to have this requirement for industry, and successfully we have completed 3 batches of these courses, both clinical research and pharma regulatory affairs, and almost 120 students have so far got the knowledge, and they have been certified from the certificate courses. So that is one thing which we are having very good thing for us. And now the most important thing is that we want to continue this. So every year we have this industry institute interaction, and we are having discussion with the industry experts every year. So right now we are into that process. We have heard from morning very good sessions on pharmacovigilance, then clinical trials, then business development. And this is the last session for today, where I am going to a little bit share why we are doing these certificate courses and what is the focus of Indian pharma industry which is going to be there. So for sure, we all know that from say 2000, we have seen that Indian pharma companies, they started dominating the US market. The credit goes to Dr. Yusuf Hamid, who has put the concept of the $1 treatment for HIV/AIDS. So he launched antiretroviral medicines in US market, and his target was that we will provide the medicine at $1. So Cipla was very successful in that, and with that success, almost all the Indian big pharmaceutical companies followed that success, and they also had a very good presence in the market, US market. And with that, we had, say, a very large number of Indian pharmaceutical companies who were supplying generics to US market with the quality products. And we had a competition, tough competition from China as well. And today also China is one of the biggest competitor of Indian pharmaceutical companies. But today also Indian pharmaceutical companies are more reliable as compared to that of Chinese manufacturers or drug suppliers. So that is a credit to our this pharma industry. Now the budding pharmacists or the young graduates who are going to enter in the field, it is a very good opportunity for them, that they are going in a pharma sector which is already doing very well. And at the same time, we are changing in the sense that almost all the medicines or the patented drugs whose patent is expired, we have generics for them. And now whatever patents are going to expire in coming years, they are very difficult for making generic, and for that we need certain amount of innovation. Also, there is another buzzword which is biosimilars. Now we have biosimilars, and biosimilars are coming into the market. And unfortunately, in India, we have only one pharmaceutical company, that is Biocon, which is a big pharma in biosimilars. So because a lot of investment is involved, lot of money is involved, we are not having many biological products or the manufacturers of biological products in India. But as you have seen today, say now in this pandemic COVID-19 also, lot of focus is there on development of vaccines, development of biologicals, and the all over the world people are now thinking of having natural products and having something which you can prevent the disease or something which can cure the disease. Okay, so now we have artificial intelligence, now we have data mining, we have a lot of data now, we have a lot of IT infrastructure now, and it is evolving day by day. So as the CEO of Google, he has said in his some of his presentations that when he was in India, he has never used a PC or a computer, but now he is heading the biggest IT giant, that is Google, and he is CEO of Google. So that is what our potential is. So even if the students who are at say rural background, they definitely have that potential that they can, with the changing technology or with availability of new technology, we can grow, and that will help us to for our own growth as well as the growth of our country. So now what this artificial intelligence or the new technology, now the problem or the drug discovery we know is that it is very expensive business and it is requiring 12 years to bring a product into the market. So artificial intelligence, we are going to reduce the time required as well as the money required. So now new focus areas which will be prevention and early detection. So we are going to have new tests, as we are seeing that there is a lot of demand for tests which can detect COVID positive patients rapidly. So there is a demand of rapid tests which can detect COVID patient very easily and very less at a very less cost. Okay, so that is going to be a demand for coming 10 to 20 years, and that is what the pharma focus is, that we have to have a prevention or early detection for cancer also or some other diseases. If we have early detection, then we can cure the patient, and that is what is intended by prevention and early detection. Second thing is that customized treatment. Now we as a pharmacy graduates, we know that therapeutic drug monitoring and personalization of the treatment, all these things we are already aware about. So tailor-made medicines will be available now because of the gene therapy, because of lot of data which we have. So Google itself is working on lot of data. They are collecting data from the retina scan of patients, and from these retina scan they have developed a huge database which can predict whether a patient is having smoking habit, when can he have the cardiac arrest in future. So all that can be predicted using data. So these are something which is going to happen. So for each individual we will have a treatment. So for example, person A, we will provide a tablet C. So that tablet C will only be for person A. Okay, so that specific medicine we are going to have in near future for the various treatments. Then we are going to have curative therapies. For example, we know that diabetes we don't have a cure, hypertension we don't have a cure. So if there is the medicine which is going to cure diabetes, then all the anti-diabetics will be out of the market. Okay, so if there is something which is going to cure hypertension, then all the anti-hypertensive products will be out of the market. So now next focus is that we have curative therapies. Okay. Then fourth is digital therapeutics. So digital therapeutics, because of the development in digitalization and availability of lot of data as well as infrastructure, you have seen that pharmacovigilance is growing, and each and every pharma company has a requirement that they must have pharmacovigilance department now. And you can see in India, Cognizant and TCS, which are actually IT giants, they are handling almost all the pharmacovigilance business or activities for big pharmaceutical companies or MNCs. So that is because of the high availability of infrastructure and technical expertise, and the softwares which are very expensive. Data mining softwares are expensive. So all that is available with TCS and Cognizant's and that is why they are dominating the pharmacovigilance right now. So that is going to increase, and we are going to have a medicine, or you are going to have an alternate solution which will change the behavior of a person. Okay, so you might have heard chips inserted inside the brain, or some other chips which are going to work as the liver. So like that, the development is going to happen. And recently we have also seen that the bacteria are developed which are making milk similar to that of cow milk. So this is very good advancements meant taking place all over the world, and that is definitely going to replace many therapies. And that is why when these things are available, whatever medicines are currently used, they may be eliminated and they may not be required more. Okay. The next is precision intervention. The pharma industry is going to focus on very precise, very exact, and to the point treatment, and that is possible because of the robotics, that is possible because of the nanotechnology, and because of tissue engineering. As I said, that we have bacteria now which can make cow milk. Okay, like we had initially bacteria which are used for fermentation, and we have alcohol production and other products which are produced by the bacteria. Now we have bacteria which can produce cow milk. So you don't have to have cows, you don't have to have farms. The milk will be produced by bacteria by fermentation. Okay, so like that, we can have precision invention by using biotechnology, but definitely it is very expensive. All these things, all these innovations are expensive, and Indian pharmaceutical companies, they agree that we have made very late, that we are not yet starting or we are not pumping sufficient amount of money for invention. But after this pandemic, it is realized all over the world that we need to spend more money on healthcare. So it is a good for you who are coming into the market right now. You are entering in a phase where there is a turning point, and if Indian pharma company want to remain as a leader of the globe, all the world leader, they have to focus on the innovation, and that is why the future lies in innovation. Now, how can we have innovation? Now we need to have change in policies from base. So whatever education we are giving, we need to change the education. Okay, so now you must be listening lot of things of the new education policy. So fortunately we had some good leaders in India, that is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who has given us a vision 2020, and with that vision we have decided to go for research and development. And that vision, with that vision, because of that motivation, the new education policy is coming in, and we are being affected by globalization. Now you don't need anything to explain globalization after this COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19 pandemic has very clearly demonstrated the good and bad effects of globalization. So we have in India three basic, say for example, if I talk about pharmacy, then we have UGC, RUSA, and Pharmacy Council of India. So all of them, they are now saying that you should have industry focused education and training. Even AICTE and all other organizations, they are saying that the education which is given must be industry focused. Okay, in fact RUSA has recommended that the colleges, pharmacy colleges, should include certificate course in pharmacovigilance, certificate course in data management, certificate course in regulatory affairs, certificate course in many things to be included in the pharmacy colleges. Same is being recommended by Pharmacy Council of India, and UGC had long a policy of having under section 181 to have the extracurricular or the career oriented job courses. So the understanding this need, we have already started this certificate course 3 years back, and almost 120 students have taken benefit of this, and they are being placed in industry very well. So how this certificate course works? The certificate course which we have designed, the first course is certificate course in clinical research. So basically we have three papers, paper 1, paper 2, they are theory papers, and paper 3 it is a practical paper. So basically there is a credit point given to paper 1, paper 2 and paper 3. The basically this course is classroom based course, and this is a part-time course, so you can, the course is offered on say Sundays or on the days of holidays, so it is not affecting your routine college activities. Who are eligible for these courses? All the graduates, B Pharm, M Pharm, BSc, MSc. But then what most important thing is that the student must be having pursuing a course in any NMU, that is our university, KBC NMU now, Jalgaon affiliated college, who can take part in this certificate course. And paper 3, it is a practical coursework. We want that students should go into the industry and they should spend some time in industry so that they have a real touch of the industry. That is what is intended by paper 3 or practical coursework. Okay, so there are written exams as for the other courses, that is degree courses. For all these 3 papers there are written exams. So again, same case for pharma regulatory affairs, because regulatory affairs also is a very good field. Regulations are constantly changing, and you have seen that the CDSCO, that is Drug Control General of India, has changed the website drastically, and they have launched the portal for online application. Now you can directly apply online onto the DCGI website for any of your new product launch. Okay, so this is possible now. With this is possible now, online application is possible, and there is portal available at CDSCO by which you can have your application processed, and you can then gain access to the approval, and you can start your clinical trials, and whatever you have to do you can do, and register the product in India and can be launched in India. So the regulations all over the world are changing. We are facing challenges from the regulatory agency. The Indian pharma company is also updating itself so that whatever regulatory requirements are there, we have to fulfill them. And that is why there is a large demand for regulatory affairs personnel in industry. And that is what we are offering here: regulatory concepts and approval process, and all GXP means all the guidelines, good clinical practices, good manufacturing practices. So all these things are covered in paper 1 and paper 2, and then paper 3 is a practical coursework. So this is the rough summary of what we are doing in certificate course. Now it's in your hand. Future is very bright. It's in your hand whether you want to boost your career, and the key is in your hand. You have to press the key, and then you will be launched in the space. So you have to acquire the skills which are required by the industry. You have to see what is required by the industry in coming future. You have to see what will be the coming challenges for industry, and then only you will be able to be successful in the current pharmaceutical industry. And then yes, you are the one now who are going to take India ahead. You will be the one who will be making India a leader. So you have to prepare yourself, and you have to groom yourself so that you are ready for the next challenges. Okay, so with that, this is all about the certificate courses which we offer. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. You can key all your observations or the questions in the chat box.
Thank you very much, sir. Indeed, it was a very apt presentation, and as well as at the same point of time, give an in-depth knowledge as well to the students. One particular question a student is asking that, what is RUSA or USA?
RUSA, it is a governing body which is giving direction like UGC. It is giving for technical education. It is giving directions for technical education.
Yes. Okay. One more question, sir, from my side, that how the students can enroll for these two courses.
You can apply online. There will be link shared, and through that link you can apply for these certificate courses.
Uh, I would like to tell all the participants who have joined with us since morning that within a few seconds we are going to send the link into the chat box of YouTube. YouTube live chat. You will receive a link for certificate as well, and that particular link will also have a kind of feedback with you. And if you are interested in enrolling for either of the courses, you can just tick into that particular section, and you will receive a call from our side. So thank you very much to all the participants, to all the speakers, panel members, Honorable
So,
Dr.
Rahul
Javis
sir, I
sir
do have
and
one
Dr.
question.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, please go ahead, Mr. Vispute.
Sir, if student has to enroll for both programs, so does it feasible to take part in both program at a time?
No, at a time, the students cannot take admission in two courses because these two courses are running on the similar time frame and
Okay,
certain
okay.
time frame, and the teaching learning hours are also prescribed. So that's why they cannot enroll into two courses. But if a student is into third year, so he can enroll into one course, and after completing his third year, next year into final year, he can enroll into another course like that.
So I will recommend this second option to take one course in third year and second course in fourth year. That will be beneficial for student for future perspective.
yes, yes. That is what most of the students they are doing.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It's a very
Yep.
valid question, Mr. Monish, and a very great suggestion as well for the students' benefit. That even after during their study years, like they are doing full time B pharmacy course, they can do part time certification courses in
Yes, yes,
the similar time as
yes.
well. That's what that's a great thing.
Yes,
So
sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
uh, thank you very much to all. Over to Dr. Professor Ejaz Ahmed, sir, to
Thank you
give
very
a
much,
vote
Rahul
of
sir.
thanks. And yes, sir.
So it's
And
been
I'm just going आप बोल देना, then
been
I'll
a
go
very
to
important session since morning. Thanks all the participants, particularly who are listening to us very patiently and bear us very patiently. I take this opportunity to give the vote of thanks, particularly on this occasion of Pharmafocus 2021. I would like to give warm thanks to the Dr. Sunil Pawar sir, who has given his valuable time in the morning and encourages us regarding the accreditation and progressive work which has been done by the management and the institute. I would like to thank the guest of honor, Dr. Imran Khan sir, Associate General Manager PV Operations, who has just give us the directions regarding the current trends into the industry. Again, I would like to thank the Amrit Karmarkar sir, who is a part of the certification course. Earlier, he had uh, even talk on this industry institute interactions with us, and he again encourages the efforts which has been taken by the institute and the management. I thanks the Amrit sir also for giving his valuable time. I want to take uh, uh, gratitude over here at this moment for especially for the keynote speakers, especially the Amit Khandagre sir, then Khalil Ahmed sir, as well the Mohnish Vispute, for sharing a very important valuable informations and taking so much of time and giving us so much of time on even on the moment of their weekend. So I thanks on behalf of the institute, the course director, the management, and expect and anticipate that in future if required you will just be with us and coordinate through us. With that, I just thanks to all the organizers and the principal and the staff members, and particularly our students and the participants. With that, I just hand over and call for the end for this program. So I hand over to our uh, anchor Rahil sir and Dr. Javis sir. Thank you very much at the end.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Ejaz Ahmed sir, and thank you very much to Dr. Javed sir as well and all the participants. The link has been already pasted and posted to your live chat of YouTube. And if you have any difficulties, any questions, you can still ask. And Professor Ejaz sir, can we see the link?
Yes,
I have already
it
posted.
has. Yes, it has been already been sent in the YouTube links.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So, thank you very much
Actually,
for
two link I have shared actually. So the link which you recently shared to me, my group, the same link has been shared.
Okay. Thank you.
So, all the participants, thank you very much for your patient listening. Now we know that you are interested in getting the certificates of today's participation. So the link is there. You have to click on that link. There will be a quiz launched. You have to answer the quiz. If you score 60% marks, the certificate will directly mail to your email address. So that is the it will take little time. So don't be impatient. Definitely you will get certificates for today's webinar. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you for all the speakers. Thank you for all the chief guests and our management of Jamia Islamia Aishatul Ulum for their support. Without their support, we are not able to do all these activities. So thank you for my team also, Dr. Ejaz Ahmed, Dr. Rahil Khan, and our industry expert Amrit Karmarkar, who has been there for us for almost 3 years for every webinar or every session of Industry Institute interaction. He has been a part. So thank you very much to all of you. So I declare now that we close this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So, have a very good day, nice weekend. And if you have any queries, any kind of questions regarding the course, that how to enroll and all. So,
number has been shared, sir, in the
yeah. The number you have shared the number in the the flyer you must be having. The flyer you must be having. That flyer is having both the numbers. My number, Rahil Khan, and Dr. Professor Ejaz Ahmed sir's number. So you can contact us how to enroll and how to do the certification course if you have any queries. Thank you very much. So with the permission from Dr. Javed sir, I would like to end the session. May I, sir?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.